Three. Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Jackie Crammond, and this is the 9th episode of Smack. Jackie is all the way from Kent in England, and I'm very honored to have her with me today. Thank you so much, Jackie, for your time. Jackie has been on an emotional journey for the past 3 years. I first got connected to Jackie online when she was seeking some assistance and guidance with booking yoga classes in Goa in India. Jackie and her family travel to India annually, and Jackie was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2018. This was after a very long and traumatic period where she was trying to get an accurate diagnosis to symptoms that she was feeling within the body. Jackie, I'm going to hand over to you now so you can explain how it all started, what the feelings were, and anything else you'd like to tell the viewers at this point about yourself as an introduction. Thank you.
Thank you for asking me to do this. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'll do my best. Yeah, I had just retired a year from being a nurse for 38 years. And I had a year of my retirement and things started to go wrong. I wasn't moving properly. I couldn't walk properly. I was, there was things that were happening to me. I had an inkling of what was going on due to my experience as a nurse. But I couldn't get any seriously. Everyone, my doctor was telling me the problems were psychological, it was anxiety. And eventually what I did was I spoke to I worked with, and he was the one who sorted everything out for me and ultimately got me the diagnosis, which was although I had an inkling of what was complete shock, quite traumatic.
Jackie, you were a nurse working in a hospital, seeking the guidance of peers and colleagues around you, and at no point did anybody think that it might be this serious. Is it because you are so young?
It was part of it, and because what happened was I had a bout of food poisoning and just never seemed to recover. So before that happened, I didn't have any idea there was anything going on, and they tell me that the Parkinson's has probably been there a long time beforehand without knowing.
Jackie, what do you think that the cause of the symptoms are leading into this kind of age-related disease or illness? Because you obviously know quite a lot more about it than I do. And how can people be aware of these symptoms within themselves?
I think these neurological conditions can be quite difficult to diagnose, and it's difficult to explain what's happening to you. It's difficult to explain to someone that you're falling all the time. I had counselling. I was told by the counsellor clumsy, and I thought, well, I've never been clumsy before.
Yes.
So it's about getting past those barriers and about just believing in what's happening to you, to pursue someone to listen to you, really.
So you really trusted in your intuition when you were feeling these different sensations?
I knew something was wrong. But it took someone who knew me. I'd worked with this doctor for a long time.
Yes.
And the first thing he asked me about was the weight loss. Because I'd lost a lot of weight because of the food poisoning. He was, how come you've lost so much weight? How did you manage it? And I said, well, actually something seriously wrong. And he just rolled with it from then because he knew me.
Yes, Jackie, let me show the viewers now. You recently put together a book. In fact, you only made 3 copies, and I'm still encouraging you to make more. In the book, you show photographs of your empty cupboard after losing about 4 dress sizes.
Yeah, I went from a size 18 to a size.
I want to ask you, in terms of how you were before that and possibly living a sedentary lifestyle or just being overworked and having a lot of stress in your life, how has your life changed with the weight loss, and bringing into perspective how much exercise you're doing to keep your body rejuvenated and in a healing process?
What happened was, obviously, when I got the diagnosis, I was reading a lot and I was scaring myself. I was reading clinical papers and there was no hope in the frightening. But the one thing that was coming through was that physical exercise, strenuous physical exercise, was shown to reduce the symptoms and delay progression. So I was seeing an osteopath lady at the time for spastic, and she said you need to find a neurological physiotherapist, and that's the line I went down. And I found Carrie Moore, who specialises Parkinson's in this program for people with Parkinson's, which is based on exercise, and it made a huge difference to the symptoms. That I stopped falling within a month.
Was it Dr. Carey then that recommended you start some yoga?
Yeah, he did. He was dealing with the physical symptoms really well, but I wasn't coping psychologically. I was so down. It was hard, I was crying all the time. I spent a year basically in tears. Just said to me which was a turning point. You're just so focused on what's going to happen tomorrow, you're missing what you can do today. And he said, with the anxiety, have you thought of meditation and yoga? And I thought, well, that's interesting. It's better than medication. I certainly didn't want any more counselling. So that's how yoga came into it.
So how has yoga empowered you in the healing journey, Jackie?
The big impact it's had since I met you and you taught me the meditation techniques properly is the peace of mind. The fear of the future does build. With the breathing and meditation, I can control that now, so it doesn't rule me the way it was. It doesn't overtake me or engulf me before.
I remember our times that we have spent together. I've always tried to emphasize connecting with the spirit and the deeper sense of self, and taking the burden of what's happening in our third dimensional reality out of the picture, which also assists one to keep living in the present, eliminating the pressures of the time that we're here on this earth. How has a relationship with the deeper part of yourself and your spirit helped your healing?
It's the peace of mind. It has been the most important thing, and being able to quell those fears. But one thing that you did teach me this time in India, which before was actually there are times where you just have to cry it out, and that's okay. So there's that side of it as well, really.
Absolutely, confronting those emotions head on and nourishing and loving and nurturing yourself through that emotion. That's so important because it is trapped inside the body. Have you felt that through the weight loss and through all the activities you've been doing, that you've been able to have a better relationship with yourself?
It's a slow process and there are still ups and downs, but yes, definitely. Because I've had to accept that this has happened to me. Instead of being in denial, I've had to accept this is part of me. This is how I have to live my best life. We all do.
I know how this has challenged you, and you are inspiring not just the people around you, but I believe in the future a lot more, especially myself. Jackie, the way that you have stepped up with so much courage and strength. Please tell people that are watching this the kind of feats you have accomplished over the last year or two, including your mountain journeys.
Well, it all started in India with you saying to me, when's the last time you've been on a bike? And I'd never been on a motorbike in my life, and there's no way I would ever have gone on a motorbike. And I thought, and then you said, fear is a state of mind and your friend. And I thought, you know what, my mind is not my friend. I'm just going to do this. And it just started me thinking maybe I should just focus on the positive, like Carrie said, do today. And then I try to choose something every month out of my comfort zone to do. So starting with that motorbike journey in India, terrifying.
I will have a look here and see if I've got that picture at hand so I can show everybody. There we go. There's Jackie and I on a scooter.
It was just as frightening this time as well, but it was great. And then, so a friend asked me to climb Mount Snowdon, and I thought it was beyond my capability. And my consultant neurologist had just said to me, you have to avoid uneven because you're at high risk of falling. And I didn't want to hear that. And Carrie Moran said to me, if you want to climb a mountain, you can climb a mountain. We climbed Mount Snowdon twice last year.
How many feet is Mount Snowdon?
Well, it's over 3,000.
Over 1,000. Okay.
3,000.
And how long did that take? How many hours or days?
Well, we did it in a day the first time. I think it took us about 7 hours the first time.
Okay.
But,
so yeah. Jackie, how has this current lockdown, and I don't want to bring up the situation of what's really happening in the broader picture, but how has the circumstances of this virus impacted your ability to exercise?
Well, I still do my physio routine, and I still practice yoga. I get on my mat most days, and I live near an ancient woodland, so I'm able to walk there every day. But my challenges that I had booked have all just been cancelled one by one, really, and I found that difficult. But you know, my son said to me, you just see a challenge in coping with the isolation, and that's how I've been trying to look at it, really. Yes. Because I'm on my own at the moment, because my husband still in contact, he's moved in with my son for a while, so I'm home alone.
Wow, that's also a challenge in itself.
Big challenge in it.
Is it because your immune system is low, and anybody that is going in and out of the house needs to be more aware of your condition? Is that why you're alone?
It's not that people with neurological conditions are more prone to catch the virus, it's just that you're more at risk of complications if you do serious complications. Because my husband was going to London and coming in contact with people, and it was a high risk area, we just thought it was safer. So I don't have much physical contact with anyone for weeks now. But I have FaceTime, and people come and stand at the bottom of the steps, and I stand at the front door. We try and do the best we can, really.
So what are you aiming for? What is your goal once we're allowed to go back outside again? You say that you had some mountain journeys booked. Will you be able to continue with that?
I hope so. I really hope so. My next big one was Ben Nevis. That was climbed this month. That's the highest peak in the UK. But obviously that's had to be postponed. So that's, hopefully we'll be able to rebook these things.
So in relation to the current exercise that you're doing, I hope you don't mind me asking questions that might seem personal, but for those who might be suffering from any other illness as well, do you feel any decline in your physical health over the last 6 months, or is it something that you're balancing?
Yeah, sometimes I try not to say bad days, I try to say good days because it's a bit more positive. But you know, some days are bad, some days the symptoms are overwhelming, and some days you just have to take the good days as good days and make the most of them, and then the not so good days, I just fight it. I just carry on doing my walks, and I'm just not ready to let it have me yet, I suppose.
How much exercise would you say you're doing in a week at the moment?
Physio routine takes about an hour a day, but I can, depending on what, cut that short by doing less repetitions of each exercise. The yoga I don't see as exercise, I see that as me time, and I usually an hour to an hour and a half a day in the woods. But, you know, if I want to keep my drug doses down in a mobile, that's what I have to do.
Yes. And what do you do to feed your spirit?
It's more hard, isn't it? That's difficult. Well, you know, I talk to people, I keep in contact with my friends, I still practice my meditation every day. The best days it goes well, some days it doesn't. And I see the yoga, that's my time. Yeah.
Is there any creativity that you're getting involved with as well, besides
Sorry,
your writing?
any
Creativity besides your writing?
mainly in my garden, really. That's my happy place.
Nice, very
Yeah,
good. Yeah, mine too.
yeah.
On the last day that I spent with Jackie, which was early March this year, we had a beautiful day out. We went on the motorbike to a secluded beach that we found, and it just so happened that this beach, it looked like every flip-flop in the world had washed up on this beach. And there was driftwood and other things, and we got creative, and I really enjoyed that time that we had together. It also gives me purpose. Sometimes, you know, the teacher becomes the student, and we all share and learn and grow together. And you've taught me so much as well, Jackie. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. I don't know what I have to teach you.
Jackie, with regards to your book, are you still doing some writing? Are you going to improve on this? And are we going to see this on Amazon as a download at some point?
Sure. And originally I did it for myself. It was my friend, and actually the physio said I should, you know, record what was happening. But I don't really know how to go about what to do with it next. But I have started one for another year, and then just see where it goes. I'm not sure what to do with it, to be truthful.
Well, you know, I believe through all these experiences that we're all exactly where we need to be. And because of some of the experiences in our lives, we can also help and heal others. And Jackie, I wanted to ask you if we provided your email address to people watching and they had some questions that they wanted to ask you, could they get in touch with you that way? Would you mind?
That's fine. I don't.
And anybody else that may be experiencing age-related illness, Jackie, do you have any advice for them? You know, you've got such a supportive family. I can really commend them for being so wonderfully encouraging for your journey. And I think there's so many people who might be alone when they're going through something like this. What would your advice be?
It's difficult, isn't it? Especially if you're on your own. But there are there who have an alternative way of helping you. And if I can find it, anyone can find it. Because, I mean, even although I'd been a nurse, I had no idea neurological physiotherapists or that yoga could give you such peace of mind, or meditation. So there's always somewhere to go, and all you need to do is just dig a little. It's just started digging around. I don't know if that answers your question really, but it's difficult when you're on your own. It's easier when you've got families and other opinions and support around you. But at the end of the day, if you're the one carrying something like this, then it's your responsible with it, really.
Yes.
The best you can.
All right, Jackie. Thank you very, very much for your time. And I'll be in touch with you very soon.
Thank you, Pamela. It's lovely
Take
to
care.
see you.
And thank you to everybody watching. This platform is to unite healers and light workers from around the globe. If you are interested in coming on as somebody who would like to share their own healing journey, please get in touch with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.